Hello, parents of First Tee Coachella Valley. Thank you for taking this time to watch the parent orientation for the fall session. I will be your guide. I am Teal Guyan. I'm the Executive Director for First Tee Coachella Valley. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you our slideshow and kind of walk you through that. So if you have any questions at the end of this, you're going to be able to email me those questions, but hopefully I answer most of your questions. All right. Okay, so I am Teal Guyan. I'm your executive director. I was born and raised in the Coachella Valley. I went to Palm Springs High School. I played golf for 36 years. I have been coaching golf for 15 years. I was involved with First Tee originally here as the program director and the executive director for 8 years. I have an 8-year-old daughter who's currently in the First Tee program. And our program director is Charles Delory, great guy, born and raised in Goldsboro, North Carolina. He's played golf for 43 years, a little older than me, that's okay. And he's been coaching golf for over 25 years. He is also an elementary school teacher and educator for 2.5 years, so he is just a big kid. And he also has a son in college and a daughter in high school. So welcome to First Tee Coachella Valley. First Tee at the national level began in 1997 as a partnership among the LPGA, the Masters Tournament, the PGA of America, the PGA Tour, and the USGA to make golf affordable and accessible for all kids. When First Tee began, it was to bring access to the game, but what was discovered was access to powerful personal growth for our students. For First Tee Coachella Valley, we've been a chapter of the First Tee's national program, founded in 2008 as a program of the Desert Recreation District, and we still are. The purpose is to enable kids to build the strength of character that empowers them through a lifetime of new challenges. So we are more than just the game of golf. We are also, and most importantly, a life skills program. First Tee is committed to helping kids build character, strengths, and important life skills through the game of golf, and providing all kids with access for opportunities for personal growth in a fun, safe environment. So at First Tee, each participant, every time they come to class, the lesson will consist of a 9 core value, a healthy habit, a golf skill, and a life skill. So we will be working through those lessons in the player level. And as they progress in the program, there are different life skills that the participants end up working on as their golf skills have also improved. So we have different levels in the program. These are our 4 certification levels: player par, birdie, and eagle levels. As the participants go through the program, they are assessed at different levels. So in the player level, you've seen that we have player 3, player 6, and player 9. Those are different sub-levels of the program. Those sub-levels help the participants to know which level to come in at. So we have different age groups for those player levels, but then also as participants have been in the classes, they're able to assess to the higher levels of the program and be with participants who maybe are a little bit older than them. But the idea is to move up to the par level. And so certifications are required. So certifications are like appointments that the participants will make with a coach during the off session time. And those appointments, they would go through life skills and golf skills. We don't want to call it testing, but it is testing, just to see if they're ready for those next levels. So you can kind of think of it as the levels in a karate program or maybe a swim program. These are our 4 certification levels. But there are also 2 other levels in the program. So target level for us is the Little Linksters classes, and that's ages 4 to 6. Excuse me. And then our ACE level is for the participants in the program who are a little bit older, required minimum age of 14. They will be doing 4 different service projects. I think of it as like an Eagle Scout type of level. So very admired level in our First Teen National program. They get a lot of recognition with the Home Office for making it to that level. And then of course they all become players for life. So that's the goal, is that all of our participants, as they're working through these programs, they fall in love with the game of golf and they become players of the game for life. And they have these life skills and core values for the rest of their lives. So as they move up in the program, at first, when they're starting in the target level or the little Linksters, we're just exposing them to the game, hopefully having lots and lots of fun. And then as they move up this ladder, they go from exposure to application to mastery of the game. And their curiosity of the game moves into more of commitment of what they're trying to accomplish with the game of golf. So if they have, in birdie level, they really work on goal setting, and that is kind of the start towards that commitment. So those are the different levels of the program. In the player level, which is the introductory level, the core values or the core lessons go through our core values. So we start with respect and courtesy and responsibility. So at a player 3 level class, they're getting those 3 core values and they're going to repeat them 3 times. In a player 6 level class, you're going to get the first 6 core values and repeat 3 of those 6 core values on the last 3 weeks. The 3 core values the coach decided were needing to be repeated. Typically responsibility is one of those because it's hard to not lose those golf pencils. But then our player 9 level classes, the participants will go through a different core value each week. So while they are playing golf and playing games, the core value will be at the heart of the lesson. So if it's courtesy, there will be a lot of games that involve using that courtesy while playing the game. So you'll see, not this session because we're not going to be able to be around each other as much, but in normal classes where you're going to be able to observe the class and stick around, not in this current climate, but in hopefully in the future, you'll be able to see that your participants will do golf fitness warm-ups. So these fitness warm-ups will be 5 different categories. So we'll see those right here. We have strength, flexibility and mobility, agility and coordination, and balance. So those 5 different categories, usually it's 3 of the 5 is the minimum requirement for these golf fitness warm-ups, and typically we'll get into all 5 in those warm-ups. So 10 to 15 minutes at the beginning of class, that's going to help your participant with all of these categories. So we want them to be an overall healthy person, and these physical warm-ups will really help with that. And an overall athlete. Oh, and object control. There we go. There was another one. I only showed you 4. Okay, so we have these wonderful games and activities that are seamless, which means they are without seams. Just kidding. Our seamless games and activities, that word is used to kind of show that they're going to be having fun. Our participants are all going to be having fun. They're going to be learning these golf skills, but at the same time that they're learning these golf skills, they'll also be working on a core lesson, and it's going to be a core value at the player level, and the rules of golf and etiquette, and then golf fundamentals as well. So all of these are blended together seamlessly, where the participant, maybe they know what they learned that day, but for the most part, we just want them to have enjoyed themselves, have gone away with some new knowledge of golf skills, core values, golf rules, etiquette, but it's happening seamlessly. So at the end of the day, if the participant had fun, then it's a giant win for our organization. So we want them to have fun, but they're also going to be learning all of these wonderful things. So we're being very sneaky, fun at the same time as we're learning. It's a good thing. So in our wrap up in class, the participants will have yardage books. These kind of take them through the classes. They will be expected to bring those to and from class, something that they are working on the responsibility with. I'm sure we'll have to replace some of those as the weeks go on, but try to keep track of that yardage book and have the participant keep track of it and be responsible for it. It's a good practice. Open-ended questions, we always end the classes with open-ended questions, ways for the participants to really teach the class, hey, what did you do today? How are you going to use that out in your world? How are you going to show responsibility at home? So it's helpful as well if you know what the core value of the day was with your participants, or in the higher levels what the core lesson was for that day, so that you can also be working with your participants at home on the same kinds of things. It just is a better overall picture when you have participants working on the same things at home, and it helps to really bridge to life, which is the last part of our wrap up, which is creating the connections between the core values covered in class and your applications off the course. So ask those questions. So safety is first and foremost concern when implementing golf into a program. At First Tee, the aspects of safety are physical, emotional, and social safety. So we want to make sure that the participants feel safe. Well, first of all, that we're keeping them physically safe. So right now that has a lot to do with our physical distancing, keeping our class sizes small, face masks worn by the coaches, and we'll kind of go through all of those, but emotional and social safety as well, making sure that the participants feel like when they raise their hand in class that they are being respected by the coaches and also by the participants. And then social safety, you know, we demand respect in our class settings, and we are making sure that there is no bullying, no teasing, none of that's happening in our classes. It is a requirement of being able to participate. So that is just the only acceptable behavior that we're going to allow. So rules and expectations, a lot of this is going to cover specifically this fall session and the safety that's included here. So participants are required to remain at least 6 feet from one another and must refrain from any physical contact with fellow participants, coaches, or volunteers. Tough, but we will do it. Coaches and volunteers will wear face masks for the entirety of assigned classes. Coaches and volunteers will use hand sanitizer after and during classes. And just so you know, we did have extensive training going on with the coaches so that we made sure, and our volunteers, so we made sure that everybody's complying with these new rules. Coaches and volunteers will plan activities that are always keeping participants 6 feet apart. Class sizes will be limited to 8 participants. We're going to use tips of the hat or waves to replace handshakes. I also like the virtual high five or virtual fist pumps. Those work as well. Staggered check-in and check-out for all classes. So we will have some social distancing for those check-ins and check-outs. Participants are required to bring their own water bottle. If parents were required their participant to wear a mask, they must provide the mask for their children. Upon arrival, coaches and volunteers must disclose information about COVID-19 symptoms within the last 24 hours and whether anyone in their home has had COVID-19 symptoms or a positive test or traveled in the past 21 days. So depending on the answers, participants will either not be able to participate or they will be asked to wear a mask during the class. All coaches, volunteers, and visitors will follow social distancing and other policies and procedures as established by local governments for health and safety of all parties. So the check-in procedure, parents are encouraged to take their children to the restroom and have their children wash or disinfect their hands prior to approaching the check-in table. So please use your facilities at home or at the golf facility before coming to the check-in table. So we're just asking that all of the kiddos have their hands washed and or sanitized before joining the class. Coaches will be awaiting participants upon arrival by standing behind a table. Families will wait in line with an appropriate physical distance of 6 feet apart. Participants must remain in safety line until checked in. Parents will be asked about COVID-19 symptoms within the last 24 hours and whether anyone in their home has had a COVID-19 symptom test or tested positive or traveled recently. Temperature checks will be made with a no-touch thermometer at check-in. Temperatures of 100.4 or greater will be denied attending the First Tee Coachella Valley class or camp. There will be hand sanitizer available at check-in throughout the facility and during classes. Once the check-in of the participant is complete, all parents and guardians are required to leave the golf course area where the classes are being conducted. This will help manage social distancing for First Tee and throughout the golf center. After the participant is checked in for class, they will be assigned a personal station to put any belongings that they may have. So the wrap up and checkout procedure, at the conclusion of each class, there will be a group circle and in their respective, the participants will be in their respective hula hoops or chairs or whatever the coaches decide to kind of have the participants physically distanced with. Parents must check out each participant with the coach before they are dismissed. So, making sure that you're standing in a safe spot away from other parents and then asking your participant to join you and a nice wave to the coaches, letting them know that you're checking them out. And the coach will check the participant out on their sign-in sheet. Participants must remain in a designated safety checkout area until the parents' arrival for pickup. Parents are asked to be on time for checkout to maintain health and safety procedures prior for the check-in process for the next class. So making sure that we have time to wipe everything down. We just really ask that you are on time for that pickup. Please inform us if your child becomes sick with COVID-19 symptoms or a confirmed or a suspected case. Please let me know, Teal Guyan, if anyone in your family comes down with COVID-19 or test positive or has a confirmed or suspected case. I'm working on making sure that we contact trace and let everybody know who would ever be exposed to this. So thank you for helping our participants have fun while they attend a First Tee Coachella Valley class as we strive to ensure everyone remains safe and healthy. So if you have any questions or comments, you can go to our website at firstteecoachellavalley.org. My email address is on there as well. It's tguyan@ftcv.org. And any questions that you may have, I'd be happy to answer those questions. So thank you for watching this. I know parts of it are just a little bit tough to sit through, but it's important that we're all ready when we get back to classes the week of October 26th. So once again, sorry about the delay, but in an abundance of caution, we want to make sure that our participants and our coaches are all safe this year. So we're going to do it. And thank you again. Have a wonderful day.